Welcome back to another episode, and today we're going to be talking about how, as a first time buyer, you can buy a property in Scotland with no deposit. It's not new, this has been about for quite a while. You've been able to buy without deposits in Scotland if you are, for example, a guarantor, if you've used the LIFT schemes, even historically some new build sites when gifting deposits. And 100% mortgages have been there in the past. Concessionary purchases are still quite popular as well. But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the track record mortgage that has just been released. So the first thing that you need to do is understand what 100% mortgage means, what it is, and some of the key benefits and risks that are involved. Essentially, if you've been renting and you've got a track record of paying rent, but because of the rental payments and because of the running costs of running the house, you've been struggling to save, you've got the opportunity now to go out there into the open market and buy a house without putting down any money of your own. It's really cracking idea, but it does come along with some key risks that you need to be aware of. So thinking back in the last 15-20 years when there was a huge banking collapse, when 100% mortgages were the norm, what could happen is if there is a collapse in the mortgage industry or the housing industry where house prices start to drop, what could happen is you could buy the house and then fairly soon after that you could find yourself in negative equity. What this means is that you owe more money on the property than what the house is actually worth. It doesn't really mean anything if you're not planning to move, because these kind of things are, if you're buying a house to live in forever, you're going to be paying the mortgage back. So that's relatively doesn't mean anything for you. But if you're buying it as an investment, if it's maybe your first home and the market collapses, if something happens and you need to sell it, what could happen is you find yourself in negative equity and you actually owe the bank money if you're trying to leave them. It's one of the huge risks, and it's something that has happened in the past. So really important that if you are going in to look for the 100% mortgage, that you take that into consideration. A few of the options that I've already touched on, so likes of the guarantor mortgages that are out there, this is where you can help support a family member buying their first home. You can do that by going on as a guarantor, meaning that they don't actually need to put down any deposit of their own, but you can support them financially. There is other things such as concessionary purchases. So if you're currently renting and your landlord offers you the property at a discount, or if your family offers you the property at a discount in a property that they own, you can buy it without any deposit in these scenarios. And the new track record mortgage that we're going to touch on today, the track record mortgage is there to help first-time buyers go on at the property ladder, and it's based around the track record of rental payments. If you've got a history of paying your rent and paying your rent on time, you could be eligible for this. There's loads that goes with it, so make sure that if you are going to be considering this, that you understand it fully and you've either spoken to a mortgage broker or you've understood the deal fully before applying for it. But some of the key things to look out for is you must be a first-time buyer aged over 21, currently renting. You must have less than a 5% deposit, and the maximum purchase price is up to £600,000. It's not just paying rent, but you must have experience in paying the household bills and running a home. And affordability will be based on a number of things. So it's not just going to be based on how much you can afford to spend. It'll be based on the average rental payments that you've been making as well. So it's important to review everything before diving straight in and getting an application done for it. But the application process is fairly straightforward. It's just the same as everything else. Make sure that you're checking your affordability. Check how much that you can borrow through it. Get your mortgage in principle, making sure that, you can borrow the money, it's going to be affordable and the lender's willing to give you the money. And then from there, it's just about finding the right house. And once you've done that, you can formally apply for the mortgage. As I say, make sure that you're taking trusted advice on it, because it's really important because of the complexities of anything that's out there. Make sure that you're getting professional advice and get a trusted solicitor in place to make sure that they can guide you through the full process. But that's it from me. I hope you did find this useful. And if you do, please give it a like and please subscribe. Cheers.